I don't often do DC comic reviews. I don't know why. I have a lot of DC comics. I guess they just don't stick out in my mind as much. You know, Robin 2, The Joker's Wild. That is one of the most memorable DC comics I think I've ever read. But I was going through my collection and I noticed this little gem. This is the Batman Adventures, issue number 1. And obviously this is based off the Batman animated series from 92. This was released October of 1992. This actually ran for 36 issues, had a couple annuals, I think 3 specials, which included the Mask of the Phantasm adaptation. And this managed to have a really, really long life because every time the Batman animated series would get redesigned and relaunched, they would do the same thing with the Batman Adventures. All the way up until 2004 when it finally ended. And I thought it'd be fun to, go through this one. For those of you who don't remember, I'm sure you can find this for 50 cents in your back issue bins at your local comic shop. The Penguin's Big Score, Act 1, Charm School Dropouts. Give it up, Ross. You'll never take me alive, Batman. Shoot, Ross, shoot! By the way, these are almost all written by Kelly Puckett. Almost all of them are drawn by Ty Templeton and Rick Burchett. These guys did a good job on this. It really sticks to the same feeling. And it turns out that it's a criminal watching Batman on TV, which I thought was pretty fun. Look out, Ross!
Turn that thing off. Don't you know it rots your brains? You're new here, Grant, so let me explain. Here we believe that being a criminal is no excuse not to try to improve oneself. So every day, we each learn a new word because as we all know, money can't buy you class. Very good, boys. What's your word for today, Rocco?
Rapid.
That's a good word. Rapid means fast or quick.
This is the stupidest. Shut up, he'll hear you.
Clarence, what's your word?
Arteriosclerosis.
Yes, an excellent word. A legal term referring to the right to assemble. Isn't that right, Clarence?
Oh, yes, of course, Penguin. He doesn't even know what it means. What an idiot.
What?
Oh.
So you find fault with my definition, eh? Now that I think about it, you may be right. Yes, it's all coming back to me now. It's a medical term. The condition of having a large steel rod inserted into your brain through your nose. Am I right?
Oh, obviously he's got the umbrella right up his nose. Penguin, there's something out here you gotta see.
You better start reading a new dictionary if you want to last long around here, Grant.
See, now this giant present shows up that they start unwrapping. It must have come in while we was eating.
The card says to turn it on at 6. That's now. Switch it on.
Greetings, Penguin. Congratulations on being the first criminal on your block to receive my new interactive TV unit. Interactive. It means I can hear you. But what's more important is that you listen to me. Because I have an offer you simply can't refuse. A brilliant plan. A plan that will not only make you the most popular man in Gotham City, but will allow you to thumb your nose at all those who've persecuted in the past, including the Batman.
Super high impact. No, pass.
And all I ask in return is that you steal from me a small item, a trinket, a trifle. What do you say?
Ludicrous. I don't even know who you are.
Joker! I love this part, right? The lights go on.
Blam!
I thought I told you to leave the light off. Well, the cat's out of the bag, it seems. My offer still stands, Penguin. What do you say?
I'm listening.
Later that night, at First Gotham Bank, they're robbing it. Batman jumps to them. I really like the layout here. This is really good stuff. And, the villains get away, but Batman finds a security guard all tied up and whatnot. Act 2, top of the world, ma. So all of a sudden, Penguin claims to turn over a new leaf, and he's going to become a big socialite now, right? Kind of echoes what we saw in Batman Returns, that classic dark movie from Tim Burton that you shouldn't let anyone under the age of 14 watch. He admits that, he had a lot of youthful indiscretions, but he's turned over a new leaf, he swears. And of course, Batman and Alfred don't believe it for a second, and Batman's going to have some tea with some lemon in it. He knows that it was the Penguin that robbed the bank. He just can't prove it. Like he says here, he's obviously the one behind it. But his methods, knocking out witnesses, disabling video cameras, they've got none of his trademark recklessness, his egotistical panache. It's a smart way to rob a bank, but it's not the Penguin's way to rob a bank, Alfred. He's not acting like himself. I can't predict where he'll strike next. Seems the Theatre Council has invited him on the board for restoring the funding that Carnegie withdrew. Leland Carnegie was a major sponsor of the theater? The major sponsor, Master Wayne. But recently, he suddenly stopped funding the program? Yes, apparently he ran into some financial troubles. I'll say, he owns the First Gotham and National Security banks, the Penguin's first two targets. Take a look at the list of bank owners, Alfred. Any names ring a bell? Good Lord. J.P. Stanford? Andrew Morgan? Yes, Gotham's greatest philanthropists. Penguin's been bankrupting them and using the money to take their place in high society. Clever. Don't cancel my invitation to tonight's charity gala, Alfred. I think Bruce Wayne will be attending after he has this delightful cup of tea you've made. Is this Earl Grey, old boy? Why, yes, it is, Master Wayne. Ganthet's Tale. Anybody read this one? I missed this Green Lantern. Let me know. Larry Niven, John Byrne. Could be good. So here we are at the policeman's charity banquet, and they're going to give out an award for the most generous citizen in Gotham who's contributed the most to the policeman's charity fund. And of course, it's going to be our old friend Commissioner Gordon who's going to give away that award. And now a message from Evander Holyfield. Sweat's gonna fly and blood's gonna flow, because this is no 2-bit sports simulation. This is Evander Holyfield's real deal boxing. 16-bit Sega Genesis realism right in your face. Speed, stamina, power, defense. You design your own boxer, right down to his haircut. But you gotta be strategic. There are 28 hungry contenders itching to make you kiss canvas. Long before you get a shot at the champ, you got 360 degrees of freedom. So jab, cross, block, uppercut, and punch. The more you win, the more formidable you become. Evander Holyfield's real deal boxing. It's tough, it's bloody, it's the real deal. Get the message? From Sega Genesis, leading the 16-bit revolution. Duck. Nobody gave a crap about this game. This ad was the best part of this game. I'm gonna say it. I remember this ad more than I remember this game. How about that? Just take some Mike Tyson Super Punch out, right? There is a new guy in town. Guy Gardner. Yeah, I have a few issues of this. We could maybe go through this in the future. Get our DC on. So, our friend, Commissioner Gordon, is absolutely disgusted he has to give this award to the Penguin. But, you gotta do what you gotta do. And Penguin's so excited for it, right? Of course he is. But then all of a sudden old Bruce shows up, right? And they take the award back. This is really good. Penguin is not happy. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm afraid there's been a mistake. I've just been informed that we've received a last-minute donation of $2 million. See, Penguin gave $1 million, and someone else showed up.
$2 million?
May I present the rightful recipient of this award? Mr. Bruce Wayne. Ho-ho, Bruce! Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Commissioner Gordon. Ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing I like more than a worthy cause.
So Bruce Wayne thinks he can steal my thunder, does he? Cancel your after-dinner plans, boys. We've got a little job to do.
And here we can see that the Batman Adventures, obviously, you know, the art reflects very well, like I said earlier. Act 3, Power of the Press. So it goes on from here. They're obviously going to rob the Wayne Financial Institution. And you can imagine how it happens. I'm going to tell you right now, like this comic book, this had a bit of a lackluster third act. It kind of did. I thought it was going to be a little more impactful with the ending. And it just kind of, it was abrupt. It was an abrupt ending. It was a very abrupt ending. Kind of like the ending to this video. Oh, there he is, Danny DeVito.
You don't really think you'll win, do you? A penguin is a bird that can fly. I am a man. I have a name. And that name is Oswald Cobblepot.
Tiger Electronics Incorporated. Batman Fun on the Run. Batman Returns. You can take this with you. It's just like, it's one game. You kids out there. This is just a single game. This is not a Game Boy. This is not a Game Genie. This isn't even an Atari Lynx. You don't have a spot where you insert a cartridge or you put in a disc or you put in an SD card with your game on it. No, it's not that at all. It's just this. It's just Batman Returns. That's all you get, and it's crap. All of these were crap. This was an invention that Tiger made a fortune, I bet, selling these, but these sucked. I was never a sucker for this. This is not gaming, in my opinion. This is cheap tawdry trash. But what I'm curious to know, at all you gamers out there, Tiger Electronics Incorporated, did they manage to make their way into gaming in the 21st century? Or did they go out of business? Tell me in the comments below. Super curious. Also super curious to know if you love Danny DeVito as the Penguin. Tell me in the comments below. So like I said, this is going to abruptly end because I'm not going to give away the ending. Because there are over 30 awesome issues of the Batman Adventures. It actually really reminds me of the X-Men Adventures that Marvel put out based on the Fox cartoon. If you guys all remember that, I know you do. One of the best cartoons ever made. But it reminded me a lot of that and that I had fun reading it, despite that this one's ending was just kind of abrupt. You'll see, if you pick this up for 50 cents at your local comic shop, you'll see what I'm talking about. Just kind of felt rushed, I guess, maybe the best way to say it. But nonetheless, this does make me want to pick up a few more issues of the Batman Adventures, just because it's retro, it's cool. It reminds me when I was a little kid and Batman Adventures came on for the first time and I was lucky enough to be there and live that experience. So if you're a Batman fan and you never got around to this, if you're a Bruce Timm fan, you might like this too. If you're a fan of the 1966 TV series with Adam West and Burt Ward, you might like this too. Check it out. And thanks for watching Krypto Comics.
Legends of the Lone Wolf. 80-page full-color anthology. With your support, we will bring you a perfect-bound 80-page book of the highest quality. Everyone involved has donated their time and talent, and all the money will go to printing and shipping before any of the creators turn a profit. Unlike other anthology books, Legends of the Lone Wolf contains a 38-page feature-length supernatural story. That's nearly twice the size of a regular comic book. This campaign is the only way to get the variant aged edition of Lone Wolf's #1. This highly unique version of our first issue will be printed on a stunning aged newsprint and features a cover by the one and the only Muttman. So don't sit on your hands, Wolfomaniacs. You're gonna have to get out there and grab a copy for yourself. Oh yeah! Dig it!